Hi Taurus, this is your May 2020 General Tarot Forecast. So this is for the entire month of May as opposed to your bi-weeklies. So this is going to be quite a long reading for you. I'm going to have a couple of layers of tarot here for a Celtic cross, and then we will get an oracle card from each of the decks. Alright, so this is for Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, and Taurus Rising signs for the entire month. 8 of Cups here. Really nice to see that jump out for you. You could be removing yourself from a difficult situation regarding your emotional world, or you're ready to walk away. We'll see if it shows up in your reading. All right, these guys just jumped out upright. For the record, if you are looking at my Instagram every day, I want you to know that literally it takes so long to get a card to jump out. It's so weird. When I read for Instagram, it can take up to 15 minutes for me to get those cards to jump out because I don't draw them, they jump. But when I read for you guys on camera, it's wild how much jumps out. Anyway, I just want to mention that. We have the Empress, some Venus energy here, a nice bright light. Something's keeping you up at night, knowledge, information you don't want to know, you don't want to hear. Ignorance is not bliss. Just throwing that out there, Taurus. All right, guys, what do you need to know for May 2020? Messages for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, May 2020. Flippy floppy. I can't keep reading each one because we'll be here forever, won't we? Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, May 2020. All right, guys, let's get out your first layer. Seeing the Six of Cups quite a bit, even in my daily readings. So it could be a longing for the past. That's pretty normal, especially at this juncture in history. Yeah, so a sense of trickery here, gambling. You know, we saw that 8 of Cups. We saw the 9 of Swords with the Empress. Now we have the 7 of Swords. I think there could be a sense of deception, trickery, gambling with information, gambling with conversation or communication. The only good thing about the 7 of Swords, we'll see what the second layer suggests here as well. The only good thing I find about the 7 of Swords is that, you know, you can really stand out from a crowd and you can say what's on your mind, and you can sort of be a little bit of, you know, the sand and the oyster. It's something that's a little bit gritty, something that's a little bit maybe even shocking. But it sets you free. There's a sense of freedom there as well. So there's a gamble with something that you're saying or thinking, believing, communicating. Very interesting to see that as the bottom of the deck energy for the entire month. However, we will get a qualifier for that. And then with all the other cards in the reading for you, not a lot of difficulty. We do have a couple of 10s. Which just really indicates, you know, not a major ending, but a cycle is ending. You can move on to the next phase. I do find with the 10s, in terms of, you know, advice, what we're looking for around those energies is clarity, right? We want to begin over. We want to start over. We want a new chance. So taking action in a new direction could be necessary here, and certainly coming to clarity about communication, information, etc. could be necessary, because denial or disbelief does not make something untrue, right? And again, we're seeing that here with that 7 of Swords, where there's that sense of like trickery. It's either you're saying or you're hearing it or experiencing it, etc. But yeah, the 7 of Swords does indicate a sense of trickery. Let's get our second layer and dive right into it here, guys. This represents you. That King of Pentacles does represent you. Wow, okay. You may not have a choice here. You may be pushed into a position here. We'll get to that in just a second. Or you may think you're making a choice here, but it's being made for you. Okay, lots and lots of tens. It's very, very interesting because, again, this is interesting with all the tens. Major endings and, not major endings and completions. Cycles are endings. We do have a major ending up here with our death card. So the bottom of the deck energy, we have 2 swords here, guys. We have, an end. Thankfully, the 7 of Swords, the gambler or trickster, is qualified by the 10 of Swords, which means it comes to an end. So this is actually quite positive now. I'm going to say the bottom of the deck energy, we're getting to the root of information. We're getting to the root of a problem here. And again, with Swords energy or air in this deck, we're looking at the mind, thoughts, beliefs, opinions, information, sometimes even the way that you're communicated with, or the way you study, or the way that you communicate. But this is actually rather positive now. This is indicating that there could be an end, or an end to a tricky or unfounded cycle. All right, let's dive into these 2 really nice, strong energy, especially at the beginning of the month for you. So this is the situation. This is what it's all about for you. This month is the Page of Wands qualified by the King of Wands. So there could be a child in your life who is a Leo. You could be the child if you are cross-watching. If you are a Taurus, for example, and you have a Leo parent. If you are a Leo parent and you have a Taurus child, right? Something about a Leo individual and a child. Probably Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, him or herself. But this is a major theme of, I would say, concentration for you. If it isn't an actual child, this is about an enterprise, something that you're willing to go express yourself. You're willing to go perhaps even take a leadership role or go into public. My nails are so short. Put yourself in the spotlight here. You could even, there could be a leadership position granted to you or offered to you, or you could just step into that. And then we have this really nice, the King of Pentacles qualified by the 9 of Cups. Again, super nice energy, gotta say, right? Super nice energy, especially these 2 combined. These are highly compatible energies. So, you're looking for a wish to come true. So Taurus, we're dealing with a Leo individual, possibly a child here as well for you. But again, with your energy being here, you really need a wish to come true around this person, around this event, 5th house energy, around your home or a creative enterprise. It could even just be your own sense of courage, your own sense of, how do I express myself? How do I do this honestly? How do I do this from the heart? Could be some other themes for you. 2 tens qualifying each other. Extremely interesting to see this here for you. We do have 3 tens, so I'm going to look up very quickly for you. 10 of Cups, 10 of Wands, 10 of Swords. And this is going to refer to commercial transactions. So somehow, for some reason in the month of May for you, Taurus, looks like commercial transactions could play at least a somewhat important role for you. But in terms of your recent past, or underlying the situation rather, what could have been happening to, impress upon this or to concern this issue for you, is feeling like it's just a never-ending battle with regard to a happy home. Again, I don't know what's going on with each and every one of you, for example, but it feels like something is uphill. You really want the happy home. You really want, I would say, be sure here that this isn't fantasy, that this is possible to have this happy home or reconnection or lineage, overwhelming happiness. Be careful that you're not in your own way here, or be careful that this isn't a fantasy of some sort, that this really is based in reality. right? Because we have the 9, a wish card, the 9 of Cups, right before your 10 of Cups. So you really are longing for a happy home, that everyone benefits. And again, we're looking at issues of children and parents here, guys. We're seeing it first with this King, this Leo, right? 5th house, children and parents. We're looking at assets. We're looking at banking, income, that type of thing here with that King. And then, you know, underneath it all with this happy home. So your home is definitely being affected. Here with the Star, 2 majors together in your recent past, right? The Wheel of Fortune and the Star. So major healing around the direction you want to take, okay? So the Wheel of Fortune is offering you, here's a 10. So we're looking at this, a cycle is ending and completing. You can move up. You can step into the future now. So healing either needs to or has taken place here in this area for you. It is the recent past. Or you've come to terms with something here, right? We have Aquarius ruled Star. There's Aquarius energy. And we all know that Aquarius is sort of, you know, ruling our intellect, ruling the mind. And I want to mention as well that while we're not looking at the Strength card necessarily, where we're looking at actual Leo energy, this does indicate a Leo individual or Leo energy, and we have 2 opposites, right? So there could be an element of balance here as well between the heart and the mind. Here with what is crowning you, this is what's working for you, is that, you know, a direction that you want to take, a position, a decision or choice that you need to make is matched or qualified by the Death card, right? So this is really going to be cut down for you in 2 different directions, or in 2 polar opposites. So we have even more choices or even less, right? So the choice here is probably going to be cut in 2 is the way that I'm reading this, right? So something's limited, but reinvigorated, restored, rebirthed. There's a Phoenix energy behind the Death card here as well. All the same, nothing about a certain situation, especially I would say by the end of the 2nd week for you, will be the same. You could be dealing with a Scorpio individual here as well, or shared finances and shared possessions, even wills and estates. And it could just be an issue of like, which direction do I go? But it's not even going to be a question, or this could be something that you might even plan on doing, but there's only going to be one way. Here with the immediate future, right, is our 6 of Pentacles with the Queen of Swords. So we have some Libra energy here. These are both incredibly balanced cards, balance energy, or they seek balance. Balance of the person, place, or thing here, some a practical matter, and this is a balance of thoughts, beliefs, opinions. We could be dealing with an individual who is, say, works in the law or a clinical environment. This is known as the Divorce Queen. She's sort of like the cold hard facts lady, but you know what? You can trust her with the truth. So that is one really positive element of the Queen of Swords. She may be cold, but she will not lie to you. So here we have in the position of how others are seeing you, we have the 6 of Cups, right, paired with the 8 of Swords. And other people are seeing you as though you're really going through it. And whether you're aware of other people seeing you like that or not, well, now you are. So if you're trying to hide that, it's not working. However, if you're not aware of that this is how other people are seeing you right now, this is definitely you longing for the past. There's a great deal of sentimentality here. It could have to do with a major wish, happy home, but definitely a longing. There could be even a sense of grief. Not in the same way that the 5 of Cups indicates grief. That is more of a loss, you know, a loss that involves the heart or a loved one. This is, you know, of the past in general. When we're looking at the 6 of Cups, it's not even that you lost something. It's just that we can't go back. And there could be a great deal of memories involved with this as well. And then sort of paired with the 8 of Swords, we're looking at a real sense of having to come to terms with something here, Taurus, really having to wrap your head around something that could be difficult. It could be even daunting. Something could have changed permanently here that sort of, there just could simply be an issue here in terms of how other people are seeing you, which is you're having a difficult time moving forward here. Being stuck in the past. But it's, you know, and that's tough. That is really tough. If you are going through it and this is accurate for you, Taurus, then I'm like legit sorry, because times are weird right now, for real. And you know, that's straight up, that's sad energy. I'm just gonna say it, that's sad energy. 6 of Cups paired with the 8 of Swords, that's tough. You might want to read, and you know, no contact society, right? Social distancing. In a perfect world, it would be nice to get a hug, right? So if you can, get a hug. If you can't physically do that, you know, reach out, try to make some needs known right now, because, you know, suffering in silence or feeling like you have to somehow suffer alone is not the answer either. Here in the position of how you are seeing yourself, right, is the 10 of Swords with the Magician. So you think you can overcome this. I really do feel like you can. You kind of have everything available to you. It's just, it feels like it's going to feel like an uphill trek right now. There's sort of like an uphill battle. A realization or a discovery of something difficult, right? Coming to terms with something. We have to let something go. You could even be tricking or fooling yourself, God forbid, right? So, you know, coming to terms with something is going to be exceptionally important for you here. We do have 2 cards of communication. Of course, the Swords are always about ideas, beliefs. The Magician is ruled by Mercury. So, you know, this is mutable. This is a lot of information. Could be a lot of discussion, but it could just be a lot of thinking. Make sure you're clear about what it is you want. Make sure you're ready to leave something painful. It's time, right? So here we have Justice, qualified by the Page of Wands, in your hopes and fears. So yeah, something does need to be balanced. Something does need to be situated. We see this here. We see exceptional balance, equilibrium, fairness, right? Give and take, a fair give and take. And when we see it here, again, with your hopes and fears, you feel like, perhaps you just feel like something is incredibly unfair, and I don't really know what that is for you. But again, all that matters is that it's important to you. And qualified by the Page of Wands, we see her back here starting out. Again, this could have to do with your child, or a child, a fire sign child, more than likely a Leo, but it could be Aries or Sagittarius as well. But you want fairness or justice for that person. Taurus, if you have Leo in your own chart, I might suggest, especially if it's the first 5 planets, I might suggest that this is really just about you. If you're going through something difficult right now, that it's about either your child or your own Leonian energy. Here is our 3rd page. Now, I want to mention that we have pages of the same suit. I am not going to count those twice, but we do have 2 pages here. Heaven forbid I'm missing something. I'm just scanning really quickly. 2 pages of Wands, 1 page of Cups, and that's it for pages. Okay, good. Here with our advice or outcome, right? So the Moon, you could be dealing with a Cancer individual, or really, so when the pages come up, we're dealing with that suit. So we're dealing with Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, but she's looking right at the Moon, which is technically ruled by Pisces, so you could be dealing with a Pisces individual. However, you could be dealing with a Cancer individual as well, because we all know the Moon is ruled in the zodiac by Cancer. So it's very likely that this person is a Cancer or Pisces individual, but they could be Scorpio. But what this is saying here, you'll see the page is really just actually looking at the Moon. The woman sitting on the Moon is sort of looking in the direction of the page. This is a great deal of fraught confusion. This is a disrelease. This is an inability. This is the 7 of Swords. These 2 cards together is major emotional confusion, guys. There could just be an inability to see something or unwillingness to see something. And I believe I said that at the very, very beginning. I'm hoping that for your own health that you decide to come to terms with something here around an emotional issue that feels very taxing or that you're not getting relief from. Or that somehow it's shadowy, it's cloudy, there's something not being seen, there's something not being said or expressed. This is a very sensitive card. The page, well, all the court cards of the cups are sensitive, but that person is trying to, that person or energy is trying to relate something sensitive. This is sensitive information or it's a sensitive topic. And if it's your own emotional world and it's not about another individual, sort of water sign individual, and it's just about your own emotions and sensitivity, there is an enormous sense of cloudiness there in your emotional world that you need to come to terms with, guys. And how interesting. Look at all this emotion and all this thought process. Very difficult thought processes. Tricky thought processes. I would just suggest here that you're not the one who's fooling yourself. It's one thing to be fooled by somebody, okay? It's quite another thing to be fooling yourself here, guys. And remember, we could be dealing with a Leo child, or you could be the Leo child. Beware that you're not being fooled, cajoled, or tricked into something, or taking an unnecessary gamble. Sure, we'll take those. We see this with Between the Worlds, boy do we ever. We see this here with the Two of Wands paired with the Death, right? You've got one foot in one world or one opinion or one belief system, and you have your other foot in another world. You could even be dealing with children here in opposition. You could be taking sides and you could feel torn. Or if you're the child, this could be what is going on around you. We have nature, harmony, and surrender and release. So I'm going to mention that nature and harmony are actually in cahoots. Nature is harmonious, harmony is nature. So these are actually kind of one and the same. I want to mention quickly, however, that with harmony, we're dealing with music. Taurus, you do rule the throat. So if you have something to say, if you are artistically expressive, if you need to feel better, maybe start singing or listening to music. This will actually improve your mental and physical health. Nature is so important for healing, for rebalancing, re-energizing, to create equilibrium. And then surrender and release, particularly because there is an enormous amount of worry for you going on in your own mind, whether you're aware of it or whether you're expressing it to other people. It does exist, and it's just there's really no need to suffer in silence. There's no need to suffer alone. And if someone is wrong, then someone can say sorry. If they don't, we don't have to go to the grave trying to be brave and strong and be right, right? We can just move on and we can try something new. So we have the turtle here. This is Mother Earth. This is very much associated with your sign, in fact. Turtle is ancient. It's one of the most ancient symbolisms in all religions from around the world. Some of the oldest imagery includes turtles. In fact, the earth was considered to be on the back of a turtle. So there's something very ancient about this. This could be karmic for you. This could feel, if you're a mother, this could be taking a toll on you as a mother, or if this is about your mother, this could be taking a toll on her. And then but ultimately there's healing here, right? Mother Earth always heals. Okay, you have to remember that. She heals no matter what. Through trial, tribulation, and if something's too much, she just gets rid of it. So something to pay attention to. Also another 10. A new cycle needs to begin. Here is reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning in your life. Now, again, as a general reading, I don't know exactly what that means for you, but hopefully that's important information for you. And all of this turns out very positively for you. Guys, if you like my content, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have a second, comment below. I love hearing from you. I hope this reading finds you in good health and in happiness. Take care, everybody. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.